Have you ever felt that someone who once truly valued you no longer shows the same respect or attention? That feeling cuts deep, quietly but painfully. But let me ask you this. What if there's a simple yet powerful method that can not only change the situation, but make that person suddenly stop and ask themselves, what happened? In this video, we'll talk about what to do when you feel that you're no longer appreciated. This isn't just about getting someone's attention back. It's about something far greater. Reclaiming your inner strength, restoring your self-respect, and setting a new, higher standard for how others should treat you. You don't ask to be valued. You remind people your value with dignity. When someone stops appreciating you, the first reaction seems obvious. You start trying harder. You become more available. You explain, prove your worth, and do everything to win back the lost attention. But here's the paradox. The real solution is the opposite. The strongest thing you can do in that moment is step back. Yes, you heard that right. Instead of giving more, you start giving less. This isn't coldness or manipulation. It's an act of self-respect. When you pull back, you create space. And it's within that space that the other person begins to notice your absence. They can no longer take you for granted because they no longer have the same access to you. Human nature is simple. We take for granted what's constant and always there. But once it's gone, we realize its value. And this doesn't apply only to romantic relationships. It happens in friendships, in families, in workplaces, anywhere emotional bonds exist. You see, stepping back is not a game or punishment. It's a conscious decision to redirect your energy from others to yourself. Stop focusing on how they treat you. Turn that focus inward. Spend time doing what makes you feel alive, strong, and whole. Grow, learn, rebuild your inner foundation. When you become deeper, more grounded, and confident, people notice. You no longer radiate neediness, but dignity. Not expectation, but completeness. And that's when everything changes. Not because you demanded value, but because you became it. When you step back, you don't lose anything. You get yourself back. You stop investing in someone who doesn't see your worth and start investing in what truly deserves your attention, your own peace, growth, and balance. This moment might feel lonely, even painful. You may still have feelings, hopes, or expectations, but this is where the real turning point begins. You shift from dependence to freedom, from reaction to choice, from needing to be noticed to fully accepting yourself. Sometimes when you step back, you'll lose connections that survived only because you kept them alive. That's okay, because genuine connections don't fall apart when you stop fighting for them alone. They survive silence, they grow through space, and they respond not with absence, but with effort. But even if that doesn't happen, you still win because you chose yourself. You didn't fall into despair, and you didn't shrink beside someone who ignored you. You became the light that others will be drawn to. Not because you chased them, but because your strength speaks for itself. The power to stay, the power to walk away, the power not to explain, the power not to prove. That's not pride, that's maturity. It's also essential to set boundaries. Loss of respect rarely happens suddenly. It starts the moment someone crosses a line and you stay silent. That's your responsibility. You can't control how others behave, but you can show what's acceptable to you. Boundaries aren't anger or punishment. They're acts of self-love. When you calmly but firmly show how you deserve to be treated, you send a powerful message. I respect myself, and I expect the same from others. And here's the truth. When people face your boundaries, they have two choices. Either they rise to your level or they leave. Both outcomes serve you, because if they stay, they grow. And if they leave, they were never meant to value you anyway. That's not a loss. That's freedom. And the most beautiful thing happens when you stop waiting for reactions. When you shift your focus from others' behavior to your own inner growth, something changes. In that silence, the one who took you for granted starts to feel the emptiness, the absence, the realization of what they've lost. Sometimes they'll try to come back. Sometimes they won't. But either way, you rise because you didn't lose yourself. You chose respect for yourself and for life. Remember, the key to deal with those who stop valuing you isn't to chase attention. It's to step back with grace and redirect your energy inward. People only start valuing what they can lose. But the greatest victory is that you start valuing yourself. You stop living for others' approval and start glowing from your own wholeness. You no longer fight for attention. You attract it with your peace, your calm, your strength. That's true freedom. You no longer fear losing those who can't see your worth because you've learned to stand on your own. You let go of what no longer matches your growth. And in doing so, you make space for what's real, for people, love, and opportunities that see you, hear you, and choose you without conditions. You don't have to beg for what should be natural: respect, presence, care. If it's missing, you didn't lose. You simply left a game that was rigged against you. Sometimes the most powerful victories happen quietly, when you stop explaining why you're worthy and simply live like you already know it. That's when life responds, with people and situations that reflect your new truth. And here's the final secret. When you live with a sense of self-worth, you don't just change your surroundings, you become an example. Those who once took you lightly start to pause. Those who disrespected you begin to reflect. And those who watch from afar begin to be drawn to your light. Because confidence that doesn't need to prove itself is the strongest energy in the world. Ironically, when you stop chasing validation, you start receiving it, not at the cost of yourself, but as a reflection of your completeness. So let your step back be not retreat, but the beginning of a new movement, forward, with love, with self-respect, with truth. You don't just deserve to be seen, you deserve to be valued.